All right. So yeah, I'm back to just chatting for quite a bit, which is essentially like my way of venting, I guess, and giving out updates and so on. A couple of things happened today. Interestingly enough, during stream and while I was streaming. Number one, I had to fight, face fight with my internet provider because they decided to be assholes and not give me the service that I was paying for, and therefore, like Streamlabs was telling me like, "Hey, dude, you have minor issues with your stream," and I'm like, "Okay, let me check out the minor issues because you are in orange right now," and they're like, you essentially are dropping 50% of the frames that you are trying to send to Twitch," and I'm like, "Huh, okay." That's not minor at all, dude. So I had to call and figure out a way to make it work for everybody, right? So okay, all right. After I'm done with that, finally I start streaming and okay, let's go, right? It's working. Um Something happened even though I didn't notice it. So this is why I took like a bit after I was done playing Genshin to actually take care of it. And that was that I talked about this before, right? I turned off follower notifications, which I know bothers some people, especially when, oh, you're a small streamer, you don't recognize your followers. No, actually, I do. I really do. Um, but I've decided to only acknowledge followers who also chat. Just like maybe if you just want to say hi, I'll recognize you and I'll say thank you. But why is that? And I want to express this again. It happened to me again. A bunch of bots with the same name and so on started to follow while I was completely unaware because I didn't have the notifications on, I believe. Um, and I didn't have it on chat either. So basically, I didn't notice. So that's why I didn't freak out, which was awesome, honestly, because that way it means that it's working. It sucks. It truly does suck to have to do this. And I hope that the person who's doing that gets a job and gets a job and finds happiness in life. But yeah. And by the way, this is not. I'm not trying to be like, hey, look at me, I am the only one going through it. No, it is happening to a lot of streamers, and this is why a day of Twitch happened during the first day of this month and so on. I just wanted to say that yeah, I've been sadly I've been part of it, I guess. Like I've been bot followed and people. So far, I've not experienced a hate rate. I am thankfully, but it sucks. It sucks that shit like that happens, and I hate it. I hate to see to go to Twitter or to go to Reddit and so on and see people and Twitch be like, hey, by the way, like I went through this, and it sucks. It truly does suck. But yeah, so far I've not seen like the ugliest part, but it is pretty ugly to see people follow you and bot follow you and stuff like that, just to try and get you banned and stuff. It just stupid. Um, but yeah, that happened tonight, and I thought that Twitch had it handled, but of course they didn't, right? Um, but whatever, shit happens, I guess. Hopefully they'll get it fixed at last because that was the point of a day of Twitch, right? Hold on, I just want to make sure the microphone is actually working nicely. One, two, three. Yeah, yeah, there he goes. Okay, so we're good. Because imagine me talking 4 minutes non-stop and static in the middle of it. But yeah, that shit happens, and hopefully they'll fix it. But yeah, those two little things happened, and I was like, ah, man. Of course, they did not fix it properly. They I don't know what the hell they're doing over there, man. But yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see. We just have to keep on going. Yesterday I had a bit of a session as well, in which I just vented and I just wanted to go ahead and talk. And I said that I was going to start being way more open and honest about how I handle anxiety and stuff like that. And something that helped me out a lot is not only talking to my friends but also talking on stream about it. I'm starting to tag my streams and under the anxiety tag. because it again, it's a way to say, to bring some of the spotlight to the mental health of people, to understand that if you're going through it, you don't have to go through it alone. And once again, it's just a small little reminder that if you happen to be watching this and you want to open up about something, then you can go ahead and do it. I'll read you, and I'll make sure that you understand that you don't have to go through this alone. Because I am blessed uh with friends, wonderful, wonderful friends. I have my what, three best friends really, which is quite a lot, to be fair. Having three people that are super close to you, that know so many things about me, and that um legit listen to me when I'm feeling super down, and talking about something helps you out a lot. When you are anxious, when you suffer anxiety, you cannot see things but by what they are, right? And you cannot for real look at the bigger picture. So when that shit happens, talking about it loudly and realizing that you are drowning in a glass of water helps out a lot. So once again, if you happen to be watching this somehow, some way, feel free to first of all say hi if you're watching this live, or say hi in the comments as well, and let me know if you are going through it, if there's something that you want to share, because that is very important in my opinion, and everybody handles it differently. I handle it this way, and I handle it, being open and talking about it. That being said, I am feeling way more healthy than before. Especially, the last couple of days have been really difficult for me. But today I feel really good, and this is why I was very mad about the fact that the internet provider was shitty. But apart from that, the reason why I was mad was because I wanted to stream, and I did it. This is Here I am. You know what I'm saying? So, a small obstacle, yeah, in the middle of a day, or of a day that was uneventful, but it's good to have overcome it, I guess, and to continue onwards. And it's good to know that we were able to do what I wanted to do, essentially. And my nose is always itchy when I'm on stream. I apologize. um but yeah, it just, yeah. It's just like, it's nice when things go to plan, even after a small obstacle. It's just nice when it happens. And yeah, it was a really fun stream, to be fair, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I hope that people, whoever watched it live, also has fun with it, and whoever finds the VODs also has fun with it. But yeah, you know it's really like such a small thing to bring up, but really, is a way to say, I'm feeling better, I'm feeling healthier. And once again, it's probably like the most important thing in the world, to feel healthy and to feel fine. You can work really hard on how you look. You can work really hard on sorry about that. It's 1:40 a.m. You can work really hard on things like you know your social stature, or your economic stature as well, but nothing beats just feeling good with who you are and what you are. And so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. um Other than that, something that I wanted to share that I just remembered. Last week, I said that I had received, when I was streaming, I had notifications on my phone, which is a mistake because you get distracted. But that was last week. This week, I didn't have any of that. But I got a message from somebody on Tinder, right? And I'm like, okay, let's find out what's happening there. Because of course, you match with somebody, you want to chat with them. And she said, if we match, you get a free, this is gonna sound weird, okay? I mean, I'm gonna, please bear with me, right? But she said, if we match, you can get a free dental checkup. And I'm like, you know that's an interesting way to start the conversation. I'm like, I'm gonna touch upon the subject and be like, oh yeah, I'm super interested in the checkup. And we started talking and it was really fun and stuff. But then she gave me her phone, and I'm like, all right, let's talk over WhatsApp, which is what I have, and I believe that, well, she had as well. Hearing, for people who don't know, which, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, the main way to speak to people in Costa Rica is through WhatsApp or Facebook, and I do not have Facebook. I know that a lot of people like in the US or the UK usually use something like Snapchat and stuff like that, but I it's not very popular here, at least within my circle of friends. So I don't have that, and Instagram is fine, but it's not really the type of place where you go messaging, right, to get to know somebody. So she said WhatsApp, and I'm like, that's great. We could do also Instagram, but again, it's not the place to message, in my opinion. That much. Except when really know the person and you can reply to the stories freely. But whatever, I'm overthinking. The fact of the matter is, she's like, okay, WhatsApp, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's talk about it. And then she was like, can I can get you an appointment on each day on this day and blah blah blah. And I'm like, an appointment for like what? Are you talking about meeting up for a date or something? And she was like, no, I'm talking about the appointment for the dental checkup. And I was like, but I have a dentist already. I don't need a dental health checkup, right? Because that's insane. Like, why are you really offering that? Because I am naive, of course, but I'm like, that was dumb. But why are you offering that? And she was like, oh, it's because I am for real a dentist and I am studying in this college. And she sent me the information. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but what the fuck, right? And she was like, oh, I use this to get some clients. I'm not interested in dating or meeting people, and I'm like, well, why didn't you say that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at myself. I'm looking like, what, right? Like, what is happening right now? And things are looking really weird, right? Because this is the first time that I see somebody promoting their business on Tinder, and she's like, well, yeah, and I can make you an offer to for you to pay only half of the price. And I'm like, well, first of all, your bio says that it's free, and also I thought that it was a joke. And she's like, no, I encourage you to pay, and I have like a very discreet location. And at this point, I realized that she's trying to offer some different type of oral services instead of instead of the ones that I thought that she was for real, like she was for real a dentist or something like that. And then that's when it hits me. I'm like, oh shit, okay. uh Goodbye. No, I'm not using Tinder for that. Like, God bless you, and also I'm worried about you because I'm not sure if you're doing this willingly. Maybe you are, but maybe you're not. You never know. In this country, you really never know. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I like, no, I'm fine, and thank you and goodbye. And that was all there was to it. And I remember talking about it with a viewer that was watching at the time. And he was like, yeah, Tinder is a whole different world. And I'm like, yeah, like this is the first time that I even remotely experience something like that. And it made me, like, legit, it made me uncomfortable. Not because I don't want to shame anybody who does that type of job, to put it lightly. um but because it is very weird that you are kind of forcing your services into people by going into Tinder and being like, oh, it's a free dental checkup, but once you but also it seems like a joke, but then it turns out that, oh, it was not a joke. I'm actually a dentist. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, but can we get to know each other? And she's like, yes. And then when you switch platforms, you're like, hey, by the way, like, really a dentist, right? I'm like, oh, okay. It seems like they bring you in, and it seems like a whole scheme, and it's oh, no, I don't like that. It made me legit uncomfortable. So I said no, and I'm like, God bless you, and I'm gone. Like, no, it's not. First of all, you never know who's behind the screen, really. It could have been like 30-year-old guy, really, talking to me and acting like it was a girl, right? So yeah, no. Um, so I wanted to bring closure to that because I mentioned it on the stream when it was happening, and I never touched upon it. Yeah, like that happened, and yeah, I really don't know what to say. At first, I thought about it like so naively, but then I realized the innuendos were there all the time, and I just didn't see them, or maybe I refused to see them, and I came to find out later. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. That's cool. That's cool. Um, but yeah, you know, as for the rest of the week and so on, and what the weekend holds for me, I will probably just be staying home, preparing a long stream for tomorrow as well. Um, Going to do a couple of errands and stuff like that, but it's gonna be quite a calm weekend, and it's been a hell of a week, and I deserve the rest, honestly. And once again, just a reminder: nothing wrong with taking it easy, nothing wrong with not doing something super important all the time. You can just relax and do things your way, because yeah, you deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. You don't need to rush and do a bunch of stuff almost immediately, when it comes to like, oh, what do I have to do tonight? Let's go, blah blah. No, just calm down, and calm down, sweetheart. Realize that you don't have to go, to do a lot of stuff right away. Um, and yeah, and yeah. Apart from what happened on stream, apart from that very weird stuff on Tinder, um, nothing new really. Last week I had a date for real, nothing to do with what I just with the story I just told. I swear. But I had an interesting date for real. But I don't know if we're gonna be repeating it anytime soon. I was interested, but she's very hard to reach, and she's also very busy. So, you know, if she's busy with college and I'm busy with work, I don't know. It may be a sign that we're not ready. But at the same time, to keep saying each other. But at the same time, if people say, oh, we don't have the time, but I feel like you do have the time if you have the interest. But yeah, we'll see about that. That's why I wanted to say, because yesterday I did mention that I was on a date, and it was really fun. But what can you do if you're not able to find the time for a second one, and so on? Whatever shit happens, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, and so far it's been quite interesting to also like do a lot of stuff Genshin related on stream. And also remember a reminder, sorry, that I do have a full-time job, and then also like I take time to stream, and I have a couple of other projects going on. So like, yeah, I really don't know if I should be on that type of apps, now that I think about it, considering everything that's going on. But yeah, like it's a rude awakening, I guess, because it will be fantastic to have something, but whatever. It's not like I'm desperate about it. It's just that it will be nice. I feel like it's very human to be like, we want to get some company, quality company, quality being the most important word that I've just said. You want to have some really good company and people who make you feel good, and not everybody can do that. So that's why you have to be selected. But once you find it, it's a matter of investment, investing time and investing effort and investing money and investing um a lot of stuff, really. So you have to wonder, like, are you really ready for this or not? um and if the answer is not, then it's better to leave while you're winning, right? Like, have a wonderful wonderful experience with someone and then just leave, because that way you don't live in you don't hate each other by the time that you're done with it. But yeah, maybe I'm being too cynical. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's just a matter of time and I'll figure it out. Maybe we won't. Reality is there's nothing to it, or there was only one date and we'll be fine. Whatever happens, happens. And yeah, it's been interesting. Oh, something also cool that happened tonight. Well, not tonight. A couple of days ago, I checked out the YouTube's stats because, of course, it's right there, and you kind of have to, you kind of have to go ahead and check it out to see what the hell is happening there. I'm still a very 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 small channel, and my views, sorry, my videos don't get a lot of views, but I uploaded a 25-minute video on Dokkan, interestingly enough. And it only had one view, right? So I go ahead and click on it to see this. I don't know, I just clicked on it to see what the hell was happening there. And it said time watching this video 25 minutes. And I'm like, man, like I think this is the first time that I look at a video and somebody like is legit just watched it from start to finish. That's insane, and that meant a lot to me. That meant, it's the little things, and those little things help out a lot, and make you feel really good, about it. And through that type of stuff, you feel like, the necessity to keep going and to be like, if there's somebody out there willing to watch me play hours of a game or minutes of a game through a video, then it's totally worth it to keep going. And it is a wonderful thing to watch it. So this is a reminder, not just to me, but to anybody, that if you have a favorite creator in mind right now, as I'm saying this, like I do, like, I'm not only, stream for the hell of it. I do it because I have a lot of people who have inspired me to do so. Just go ahead and watch and leave a like and comment and be nice and be part of the community, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Not for me necessarily, but if you have somebody in your mind right now, like I do, I have Dashi Games in my mind, I have Northern Lion in my mind, I have KYR Speedy in my mind, and those are the three guys that I watch the most. Like, it's always nice to be nice, to tell people like, hey, you know what, I'm very invested in your content and I'm happy that you're making it, and your content makes me happy, or makes me feel, this way, relaxed, or maybe makes me laugh, or so on. It helps me, wind off after a long day, all of that. It is wonderful to hear it. So, go watch it, go check it out. If you have somebody right now, you're like, hey, there's this YouTuber who I've not watched in a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and click on his profile and see what he's up to, or she's up to. Then, it's gonna be really really helpful. But yeah, that was really cool to me. To me, it was really cool to see people watch um something, from start to finish. That's insane. But yeah, wonderful wonderful thing to have seen, to have happen. But yeah, um yeah, I believe that this is everything that I have to share right now. I think so. It's been 23 minutes since I've been recording. But yeah, once again, my doors are open. Once again, please let me know if there's something that you want to talk about. But for now, though, thank you. Thank you for watching. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next video, on the next venting session, on the next whatever, really. But thank you. For real, thank you so much. I appreciate it tons. And see ya.